Hello, I hope you're doing well. Today it has been announced that Lewis Hamilton is joining Ferrari from 2025, from next season. Insane news. We knew this silly season was going to be mental because everyone's contract is ending. I think part of us was expecting it, was maybe thinking, oh, is it going to be really anticlimactic and no one's going to move, everyone's just going to stay and renew their contracts? Absolutely not. The biggest of hitters has moved. I'm so excited. I'm gutted for Mercedes. I was hoping he'd get another title with Mercedes. I'm a Hamilton fan, if you don't know. So this is big news for me as well. But I'd say it's big news for me, like I'm the one moving. You know what I mean. I follow Lewis, so this is big. But I'm really excited. As I was saying, I'm gutted that he's not. I mean, I'm not expecting him to get another title with Mercedes. I don't think this season. I know Toto Wolff and things have been coming out from the team saying that they've gained seconds and this is the car and everything, but I feel like they might have thought that for the last couple of seasons, and it's just not been the case. And I'm expecting them to move forwards and be maybe more likely to win a race, but I don't think they're going to be in the title fight. I think Red Bull are too strong, and I think Ferrari. I think McLaren are going to be a closer threat, honestly, to Red Bull than Ferrari. But yeah, I don't think Mercedes are going to be in the title fight this year. And I don't think that Ferrari will be by the time Lewis arrives there, and I don't think they will be before he retires. But I don't think that's what this move is about. I don't think it's about winning his 8th title and moving to the team that he thinks is the next big thing. I think Red Bull is the only place you can go to if you want to fight for titles in the foreseeable future. Until 2026, at least. And not enough has been announced about the 2026 regs for the teams to have any idea of where they'll be. So I doubt that Lewis is going to Ferrari thinking Ferrari sound like they have the best car for the new regs, I'll move there, hope that they dominate. Because I don't think anyone can know that at this stage. I think it's way too early. I think it is simply because he's in the twilight of his career, and Ferrari is where he wants to end off. He's come out saying that he always wanted to be in the McLaren family, and obviously he's had that iconic stint at Mercedes, but he says that he's always wanted to end his career at Ferrari. So the fact that it's come out after a couple of winless seasons, not being in the title fight, not having that motivation to. I mean, the motivation's obviously still there. Yeah, I think I worded that poorly, but he's not fighting at the front like he used to. He's still performing extremely well. His driving hasn't fallen off, I don't think. Last season went extremely under the radar with some incredible performances that just weren't as noticed because he wasn't in the title fight. So I just think he's in the twilight of his career. I'm hoping he's not going to do a Kimi Raikkonen or a Valtteri Bottas and just not perform to his best and just chill until he retires, because it feels like they're taking a seat up at that point that could be used by a rookie and a new exciting prospect that is more valuable to them. So obviously every driver can do what they want, and I have no disrespect towards Kimi or Valtteri for doing that. They've earned the right to do that after their careers. But I just don't hope. I hope Lewis doesn't go down that route. I hope he keeps fighting to the end. And Ferrari's a place to do that. They're not a midfield or a back market. They're a front-running team, even when they're not performing well. They're most likely fighting for podiums or high-up results. I think if he's not in a title fight, they'll be at least in the hunt for second in the constructors. Excuse me, but so he's going to have something to fight for, definitely. And if he stays on into the new regulations, then he can play a crucial role in developing the new car and maybe forming a new dominant era, doing the Michael Schumacher. Who knows? I'm not expecting that to happen, but maybe that's in his head as a possibility. Who knows? Obviously, none of us know what he's thinking, but this is my take. And he will be replacing Carlos Sainz, who I feel might be a bit unlucky. And I'm keen to know where Carlos goes, because last season he was outstanding and he's had some incredible performances in the last 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons he's matched Leclerc, essentially. And Leclerc, when he arrived, we thought was one of the most exciting prospects with George Russell, Max, and Lewis, essentially. He was on that level, and Carlos has been matching him. And Leclerc has fallen off, he's been inconsistent and not had the outright pace that he had in his earlier seasons, but I don't think he's lost that. I think he's going to get it back. But the fact that Carlos has been matching him and outperforming him at times, a lot of times, is no mean feat. I think Leclerc is just Ferrari's golden boy, as Max is at Red Bull, as Lewis was at Mercedes. I think Leclerc is their man through and through, regardless of performance, which is unlucky for Carlos. And I hope he can get a decent seat. I hope he either goes to Mercedes or Red Bull. Maybe Aston, but I'm not expecting their form to continue as it did last season. I'm expecting that to be more of a one-hit wonder, if I'm honest. I think they possibly spent too much too soon. And they didn't get the results that they were hoping for with how much they put into last season. So yeah, I hope Carlos can get a seat that he deserves, because he's been performing, and he must have turned a few heads in the paddock, surely. He's earned the right. I think he certainly deserves the Red Bull seat more than Perez at the moment. But obviously we're talking about 2026, 25 here, so we have a whole season to go before then, where performances can change. Carlos might drop off, Perez might pick up, who knows. But I just hope he gets a seat that he deserves, because being kicked out is very harsh. Obviously, it's for Lewis Hamilton, so Ferrari are always going to do that. 7-time world champion alongside Leclerc. It's going to be one of the strongest lineups on the grid, for sure. Regardless of what happens with the rest of silly season, Ferrari are locked in now. There's going to be tough to beat that. I just hope that they can build a car worthy of the talents, because they've been languishing for too long. Even when they've had the car, they've been messing up in other areas where they've not been getting the results they should have got. So I hope by then, we've been saying this for the last decade, for God's sake. I'm not expecting much, honestly, and God, if you've been a Ferrari fan all this time, please give me tips on how to cope, because once Lewis goes there, I'm going to be in the same boat. So please, I need to be prepared. I need to be braced. So if you have any advice on how to deal with supporting Ferrari, please let me know now. I can have a year to prepare myself, and then hopefully I'll be good. If not, fingers crossed they just make a good car and they don't mess up. Hopefully Fred Vasseur can take them to new heights, which is possible. I have faith in Fred. He's a brilliant team principal. I just hope that they can sort out every other aspect of the team, because, as I said when Gunther Steiner left Haas, similar with Ferrari, I don't think the team principal has ever been the issue. I don't think Mattia Bonotto was as bad as people said. Um, and uh, and the principal before him as well. I don't think he was the issue. So yeah, hopefully they can get their act together. Hopefully Lewis and Leclerc can get a good car, and the silly season has already begun. How exciting is this? Big news. It's been a while since we've had any big news since the announcement of the Spanish GP replacements, but that didn't really excite me too much because it's just an announcement. It's nothing. We can't see the track or anything. It's just saying what's going to happen. Whereas this feels big news. It feels like silly season has started. We're on the verge of the car launches. Who are we most excited for? Let me know. I'd love to know that. And what do we think of this news? Let's have a discussion. I look forward to speaking to you again. Goodbye.